Mentoring. And certainly, last but not least, is this. We have started a it's not a program, it's very loose framework for that. We need to plug folks in that have an appetite or desire to be a mentor or a mentee. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. On the last page, I think, of your booklet, Jim has a little nugget here in the back. Is it? It is on the back there. Yeah. Anyway, isolation is a killer in my life. I think that's true for most of us. I've come to understand that I need Christian men around me for encouragement, accountability, and friendship. I believe that is fundamental in our walk with Christ, to come alongside other men. So with that, I want to bring up John Yeldell and Matt Kaminsky that are going to talk a little bit about the mentor-mentee relationship. So gentlemen, if you'd come up, and then they're going to talk to us for a minute, and we'll take a quick break, and then we'll get back on track. So.
First, a real quick story. Ron, 1972, Northwest Missouri, 2 Navigator people come to my dorm room and introduced me to Jesus Christ, 1972. And I'm forever grateful to the Navigators. Second story, anybody had known Ed Riddle in this group? Ed Riddle, a youth pastor. He passed away here not too long ago. And Mr. Riddle was one of my mentors as a Christian educator, coach, athletic administrator for years. And he'd come up to me and say, "How you doing?" And I'd say, "Good." And then he'd turn to me again and he'd say, "How are you really doing?" And he wouldn't let me go until I talked about how I was really doing. We're talking about mentor-mentee relationship. I have the privilege of sitting down with this man every week, and we just talk. We just talk. And we share the Bible together. And it's just been an honor. It's been a privilege. It's been a joy. I have grown, and it's not, I think the mentor-mentee thing is kind of over here now, and now it's a peer thing. It's a friendship. I know he's got my back, and I hope he knows I have his back. And we've been meeting almost 2 years now, and I don't know how much longer this is going to go, Matt. God knows that. We'll see. And we're real honest about that with each other. But if it stops tomorrow, I've got somebody I can go talk to. And we've opened up. I've shared some garbage in my life. And he shared a few things with me. And I'm just overjoyed to share with you the effect and what it can do in your life. I'm going to let Matt share now. And I was asked to come up. Steve Plummer, bless his heart, he can't be with us today. And then I thought, it should be both of us up here talking, because this is a team thing. So I'm going to let Matt share now.
Well, the way I got started, this whole mentoring, as Pastor Todd was talking about it a couple years ago, and Ron had that analogy about the horse, and my wife kept saying, "Well, you ought to sign up. You ought to sign up." And yeah. And then I would avoid the subject for a week until we went to church on Sunday, and he'd make another announcement. And so finally, I signed up, and as you mentioned a minute ago, that pressure kind of went away, and it felt really good. And the biggest reason I signed up was I was raised Catholic, and as I've told John many times, I considered myself the hour-and-a-half Catholic a week. We went to church every Sunday, and my parents were very moral and ethical people, but we just never talked about the Bible. And fortunately, I married a wonderful woman, and she's helped me elevate my level with God higher. But then getting with John, it's even gone even higher. And the biggest reason I initially did it was for my boys. I didn't want my boys growing up to be hour-and-a-half Presbyterians. And so one of the many things, as John has said, for somebody like me, I mean, you made a statement earlier, it's hard for guys to open up. Well, let me tell you something. This 6'2" guy has cried many times at 6 a.m. at McDonald's, and it's just been a great for me because, you know, my biggest issue is I can be selfish when it comes to like work. I love my job. I mean, I'm that guy who could work 20 hours a day and do it 7 days a week. And meeting with John has really brought balance into my life and realized that, you know, there's more to work or more to life than just work, God, my family. And that's what he has taught me by helping me study the Bible. And, you know, I didn't want to be that dad who, you know, my kids see Friday night and that was it because I was just working all the time. And it's helped my relationship with God. And, you know, and I was trying to think, again, Ron, you had such a great session. I was really enjoying it, trying to figure out what level I'm at and what I need to get to that next level, because I think initially I was probably at maybe 0.5 or a 1. My wife brought me up a little bit, and John's brought me even higher. And you know, for me, like I said, it's just when we have our discussions, it allows me to go to dinner at night and talk to my boys and say, hey, you know, we read this in the Bible, or we've read a couple different books that we have studied. And again, it's that, hey, this is how it works. And excuse me. And the other thing is, with my work, I've always been that guy who, because I wasn't really raised studying the Bible, I've never been comfortable discussing the Bible. I've never been that guy who could say, oh, go to Romans chapter blah, 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 and read that. And that applies to you. I'm still not that guy, but I'm getting more and more comfortable. I'm able to talk to people about it at work. John and I have read 2 different books, and one book, after we got done reading, I actually was talking to a customer of mine in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I gave him the book to read. And then just recently, we got done reading another book, and one of my vendors was in town from Georgia, and we got to talking, and he noticed I have the 10 Commandments hanging up on our wall in our office. And so that brought on the discussion. So I gave him the book, and so now he's reading this particular book. So it's just given me more confidence to talk to other people, because I was always afraid, you know, if you wanted to talk concrete or heavy equipment, I could talk all day long. That was easy because I know that stuff. But I just didn't have the confidence. And like I said, I still, you know, I know about that much about the Bible, but that's that much more than what I knew 2 years ago. And like I said, I just didn't want my boys being 48 years old and being hour-and-a-half Presbyterians. And so it's affected me in so many positive ways. Like I said, both personally, how I relate to my boys, how I relate to fellow men, whether they be vendors or customers. You know, that old rule, you know, don't talk politics and religion and business. Well, you know what? I do talk religion when the time is appropriate, and I figure, you know, the good Lord's going to bless me, and if somebody's that offended, you know, hopefully he'll take care of me and and still bless my company and my people and let us be successful. And, you know, so I'm not that guy anymore who's uncomfortable talking about it. And, you know, it's been great for me. And as John said, I know he's got my back because I've discussed some pretty serious things in my life. And, you know, because like with my true friends, you know, I tell people I don't have a lot of friends. I have a lot of acquaintances. John has actually become a true friend because, I mean, like I said, I mean, this 48-year-old man has cried more than once in front of him, and he's had my back, and he's given me ideas, and you know, and just listen sometimes. So I would encourage you for the older guys, you know, just find somebody. As Ron said, you see a younger guy and talk to him, and it was the same thing. You know, we just started talking about each other, and it was kind of funny. I played football at Pitt State. He played at Northwest Missouri. He's an asphalt guy. I'm a concrete guy, so you know that's a no-no. But I look past it, and but then we both have the same birthdays, and so what? Yeah, and you know, and so anyways, you know, God's worked a lot in my life just by meeting John, and you know, when I told Pastor Todd about those similarities, you know, he didn't even realize it, but you know, like I said, if you don't know the rivalry between Pitt State and Northwest, it's a big deal. So it's just kind of funny, and like I said, normally concrete guys don't like asphalt and vice versa, but so it's been a great deal for me, and I'm kind of rambling now, so I apologize, but it's been a wonderful thing, and again, who knows how long it'll last. So
Appreciate your attention.